Hello, epic viewers from around the universe. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another weird and cat-fitting stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items are covered inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently flaunt them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. This is the second part of my unboxing of the ThunderCats action figure lot. In a previous video, I flaunted some of the contents of the box. I extracted an 8-inch lino figurine from the box, as well as a 5 to 6 inch lino figurine. I believe this figurine is roughly 5 inches tall. His appearance emulates Lino's appearance from the original ThunderCats series. This is a modern day ThunderCats figurine, likely produced by Bandai. Unfortunately, his screw holes are not obscured. They lack plastic fillings, which is unfortunate. Is it a salient gripe of mine? Of course it is. I'm nitpicky to say the least. But there's nothing I can do to rectify the calamitous situation that has befallen upon me. I guess I could try to look the other way and not take a gander at this figurine. But I do notice those screw holes. They do agitate me. They invoke my rage. Perhaps I'm exaggerating. This is not really a traumatic, distressing experience. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. It's probably negligible. I just want my action figures to be the embodiment of resounding perfection, and I don't get that here with this figurine. But it is decent, even though it's not flawless per se, so I shouldn't really have any qualms about this purchase and decision. I knew what I was getting myself into amid undergoing this purchase and decision. I purchased these figurines months ago. His gauntlet, it doesn't seem to be detachable. I thought it is, but I really don't want to fiddle with the joints or tamper with them. I don't want to compromise the integrity of the joints. This is either Lino or Tygra from the modern day ThunderCats series. I'm not sure that's still airing on TV. I don't watch TV. It indoctrinates you and brainwashes you. It's a complete waste of time, so I'll only know whether the figurine is Lino or Tygra if I look it up, which I eventually will do. So look at the description of this video and then you'll be able to discover whether this particular figurine is either well, actually, look at the I revoke my previous statement. Look at the first part of look at the video appertaining to the first part of my unboxing of the ThunderCats action figure lot. If you look in the description, I would have already inserted the correct identification of this character by the time you watch a video. That way you would have known whether this character is either Lino or Tygra. I think it's Tygra, but it may be Lino, so who knows. Let's move on. So here are the other figurines within the box. They're obscured by the bubble wrap and the contents of the box. Here's the bubble wrap. I will retain it. I'll salvage it. I'll save it for later. As a pragmatic use. Let's scrutinize the nitty-gritty details of this figurine. So here's Mumm-Ra. Alright, he's missing his helmet. Could be attached. He has peg holes in his ears. He has a peg protruding out of the top of his head. It's quite intriguing. I love his novelties. I love his color schemes. I love his textures. I love his biceps. I love his muscle tones. His seam lines are not very noticeable. The skirt is sturdy. It's comprised of a hard rubber. I love his straps. His little breastplate isn't removable. The straps are integrated into the design of the skirt, so they can't necessarily be removed. But it's a nice addition that they've been added to the skirt. These little straps protruding out are not very flexible. They go back to their default position if you tamper with them. I don't want to sever them. I don't want to decimate them, so I won't really tamper with them. I love his wrist guards. I love the fact that his teeth are clenched together. I love the fact that he has beady little eyes. I love the fact that he gives off this menacing facade that instills trepidation in the hearts of his adversaries. The screw holes are mostly on the back of his body, so they're not very noticeable if you flaunt him on the shelf. Since you likely won't be looking at him from behind. Here's a figurine. I love his intricacies, I love his novelties. He can be placed into any dynamic pose that you see fit. He's just quite extraordinary overall, stands roughly 5 to 6 inches tall. I have no qualms about purchasing this figurine. He seems to have ankle guards. He seems to have wrist guards, a breastplate. All of them are not adjustable, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Maybe it's ideal that they're not adjustable. Therefore, you're less apt to lose them, unless you tear them off by ripping off one of his appendages, which is not recommended. But if they were removable, they were detachable, then perhaps the average action figure collector would have a proclivity to lose them. Let's say tamper with accessories of their figurines. But I shouldn't make any arbitrary assumptions. Perhaps the average action figure collector is more meticulous today and more prudent and makes a earnest effort to safeguard their action figure accessories rather than leaving them dispersed all over the place. So here's a second figurine within the lot. We have another version of Mumm-Ra. This is his classic appearance, obviously. He has screw holes in the back. I prefer the classic appearance over the modern day appearance. I love this symbol or insignia embedded on his chest. I love his muscle tones. I just prefer the classic appearance. I think it looks more epic. I think he looks more diabolical. I think he looks more intimidating. I think he looks more menacing. I think he looks more sadistic. He really looks more villainous. He looks more notorious. He's really he's really more of the embodiment of a villain with this classic appearance rather than the modern day appearance. With the modern day appearance, he looks more like a Hulk rather than just like a senile, deranged, ludicrous lunatic. I guess you could say he looks more mad. Was this persona or was this facade? Was this one he looks grumpy and agitated and infuriated? But with this appearance he just looks more sinister, more cunning, more conniving, and just more outright crazy. So, not a bad figurine, lacks finger joint articulation, doesn't have as many I was about to say armor guards, but I don't even know if that's a correct terminology for this context. He doesn't seem to have as many pieces of armor than the modern day Mumm-Ra figurine. But I could be wrong, maybe they're more discreet. This figurine has more deco, even though this figurine is comprised of more plastic. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe my vision is just so abysmal that I can't discern which one has more deco. Maybe this one technically is more deco because he's comprised of more plastic. This one looks like he has more armor guards, but this one may have the same amount, possibly, who knows. I need to stop dwelling on utter nonsense. So here's the final figurine in the lot. The box is now devoid of its contents and can be relegated to the trash. It can be consigned to the trash. Here we have the Tygra figurine. This is a 8-inch classic version. He may be missing a shoulder guard. I'm not sure if he was supposed to come with one or two. The shoulder pad may have fallen off or maybe came severed. He's practically in mint condition. He's practically unscathed. Again, just like the other figurines, he lacks finger joint articulation. He's practically in pristine condition. He's not a abysmal figurine by any means. He's not egregious. He lacks a diaphragm joint. His head is not relegated to a disc joint. He has over 8 points of articulation. He lacks toe articulation. His knees are seemingly double jointed. His elbows are not double jointed. Not a bad figurine by any means. His head seems to be a bit loose. I did not want it to wobble around. He has a ThunderCats symbol embedded on his shirt. Is this a quintessential version of Tygra? And maybe I would have preferred a 6-inch version to coincide Emily with my 6-inch prodigious action figure collection, but if he's a bit taller than the cohort of action figures, it doesn't really matter too much in my opinion. I'm fortunate to have a Tygra. We can't get everything we want in life, but this definitely will suffice. So those are all the action figures I received. A lot. Once again, I received 3 8-inch action figures, which encompass Mumm-Ra, the Tygra, and of course illustrious Lino. Then I also received figurines derived from the ThunderCats modern day action figure line produced by Bandai. Here we have Mumm-Ra. We either have Tygra or Lino over here. And then of course we have the 6 or 5-inch retro version of Lino, so this lot was meritorious. I love the figurines. Maybe I could add finger joint articulation to them if I truly want to. I love their sculpts, I love their designs, I love their hues, I love their aesthetics, I love their shadings, I love their textures. I just really love these figurines. I don't have any major gripes appertaining to these figurines other than the fact that they lack finger joint articulation. If they had finger joint articulation, then they could have been placed in more dynamic poses, but at least their fingers are semi-clenched together so they can wield their weapons. They're not abysmal per se. Do I recommend and advocate picking them up? If you're an avid, devout ThunderCats fan, then you may want to consider purchasing them. If you detest and disdain the ThunderCats series, then you may want to forgo the opportunity to purchase them. So they're not bad figurines. I'll flaunt them on my shelves. I'll relish taking a gander at these figurines, and I'll just move on to unboxing more figurines when I get the chance. I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.